I think the apocalypse is the privileged genre of our era. It's an unveiling. It's a neutral act that functions ideologically or radically. The ideological function of an apocalypse is to take away the world and say, underneath it all, we're all just fathers, tribalists, misanthropes. Misanthropy can be something else we take solace in too, like, oh, this terrible thing is what we are deep down. But in each case, we're getting this sense of inner self that is a buffer from what we're actually doing in the world, our own real position, how we cling to our lot in life, whatever its problems are, because we think we have this you know warm sense of inner self. But a radical apocalypse undoes this. So it teaches us how to unlearn the basic coordinates of how we're immersed in our own life world. That's quoting Slavoj Žižek, and it's a way of actually exposing us to our own position. So it functions as philosophy. If you take a problem like climate change, which we all know is a huge problem, of course, and we see its effects, but we go on about our lives with different types of fantasy blinders, trying to keep ourselves from being too exposed to the problem, leaving it as a problem for someone else or a problem that's out of our hands in all these different ways. And apocalyptic fiction, puts these problems fully in our hands and exposes us to having to do something without the hope of someone else coming in to save the day. So, when the situation is hopeless, that's when we're actually politically engaged and able to take a genuine action to try to change things because there's nothing left to lose. Um, that's the kind of engagement that we need in the world today. It exposes us to our own radical freedom, how we aren't controlled. We have to take action no matter what. It's ethical. It's political. It gets to these things at their base level. So it's about the opening of this very space itself, which is what is desperately needed in our world today. Um, so it's not simply how we can build up into these big grand conflicts. You don't need the big grand conflict to get there. You need the exposure, that actual accessing that space, and that's the thing that our broader world tries to fight. So you need the apocalypse to get there.